goal setting for command and putting yes.
Oh.
And then quick search. Okay, you want to teach it?
How to do some of that stuff. So yeah, you can go over it.
Yeah, that'll be good.
So do you like the flex?
Not yet. Not yet.
'Cause see, to me, I didn't know real time. So
Gotcha.
flex to me seems like it's pretty easy.
You don't know.
Yeah.
Right, she doesn't know what she doesn't know.
But I don't know what I don't know. So
How long are you gonna be doing the goal set thing?
It's only gonna take like 5 to 10 minutes. So if that-
I'll be at it 10.
Okay, cool.
10 minutes.
So let's see. How much are you using command right now as far as
you
like
know,
a CRM?
to be quite honest with you, not a lot. I'm trying to, I've been working so much on trying to get all my marketing materials together, just to get them out. And we've had the holidays and we've had, I'm trying to close out my husband's books for his company to take him over to the accountant, and I've been doing just half-assed work everywhere.
Okay,
But whatever you're gonna go over today is fine, but I need to learn how to do the Facebook ads and things like that again, the social media marketing, because right now that's like the easiest thing to do, to get it going.
okay,
Because most of the people that, you know, would reply to me on that are people that I know.
okay,
So I wouldn't have to worry about the, you know, marketing stuff, because
gotcha.
I already know.
Yeah, good. And why do you want to run the Facebook ads? Do you want to?
Just to connect, just to keep my name out there with people, keep them, because, you know, I know a lot of people this year, and I keep getting kicked off the internet, a lot of people that I met at the wedding that my son just had, they're talking about moving.
Gotcha.
So I just want to keep my name out there.
Okay, so are you trying to work those leads that you get through Facebook, or it's just so that people can see your
Right
name?
now, it's just so people can remember that I'm doing this now. You know, I just want to stay in, you know, it doesn't even have to be a big thing, but I have not done any ads at all.
Perfect.
So I really don't know how to do that.
Okay. Yeah, we definitely talk about that like
Okay.
every 3 weeks or so. We have certain topics that we cover.
Okay.
That's one of the big ones, and it's one of the biggest ones because it feeds everything else. So if you're going to run ads, you're getting that exposure, but you should also have systems in place to follow up with those leads, because you know you can generate leads. It's not a lead issue, it's the lead conversion issue. So we know that we're in the sales funnel. The online Facebook leads are 6 to 18 months out from buying. And where most of us as agents fail is, you know, we call them once or twice. I think the average agent calls 1.5 times and then they give up. So it's not to say that they're bad leads. It's just we don't have the right systems in place to convert those leads over a period of time.
Yeah.
We can handle 10 leads a month, you know, 5 leads a month, that's fine. But what happens when you're getting 20 to 30 leads every month for 12 months? Now you're trying to juggle 360 leads. And once you get busy, you're like, oh, I don't need those leads, right?
So you just set it up in command to
Yep.
do it automatically.
Yep. And the part that why we're starting with this is in command, if you see the report section on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
So if you click on that and you go to goals, it all starts with goals, because then, you know, start with the end in mind. So we work the numbers backwards. So for 2024, make sure that that's what's selected on that top right side. It's showing me that in order for us to hit our goal, we have to generate 4,911 leads. Okay, so that's a lot of leads, and the generating part is you just pay, right? Especially Facebook leads are $1 per lead, 50 cents per lead. So it's just paying that much money, but then converting them, taking them through a lead to a contact, to an appointment set, to an appointment kept, to an agreement, under contract, to closed. That's the hard part.
Yeah.
So we need to know what this number is for you and what your goals are. So if you go to this page right here and you go to goal settings, yours might say set new goals.
Okay, I'm having a hard time connecting to the internet. I don't know if I did something with my computer. I went to a cafe. I don't have the VPN on.
Go up again
To where?
to the, just see who the internet is. Or click on your.
I was just in there working on it. And it just keeps kicking me off. We lost internet yesterday. I was trying to work on the computer and I got kicked out of my internet at home about 1,000 times. The internet kept going in and out for some reason. I have Xfinity
Gotcha.
and I hate them.
Well,
No internet.
so if you just take mental notes,
Okay.
once you get to, if you click on that red KW instead of memorizing these, it will tell you the names. You're gonna go to reports, and then under reports, you have all sorts of reports, right? The one that we wanna know is goals,
Goals.
because you need to know how many units do I wanna close? And then how many leads do I need? So you have the end goal is the units closed, and then the starting is generating enough leads to put yourself in a position to actually hit that goal.
How do I know what my goal? I mean, how do I?
So once you're at this page and you do to go to goal settings.
Okay.
So it'll say get started. So then you go get started, and then you're going to type in this year 2024. My annual profit goal is 300,000. My expenses are this. My cost of sales is going to be this. My business is mostly made up of buyers, so 65% buyers, 35% listings, and I put 0% for leases.
Now, is this something that it took you, I have no idea what my expenses are gonna be.
So it's an easy $2,000 just to be part of Flex and Gmart, right? Let's just say that. And then what do you do for advertising? What do you do for your marketing? What do you do for photography? Like, so I would take last year's numbers or the numbers. So decide, look at last year. And if you had 10 deals and 3 of those were listings and 7 were buyers, then you know you're about 30-70%. So then if your goal is to get 20 units, then 30% of that, so 6 of those are going to be listings and 14 of those are going to be buyers. On the buyer side, there's not much of an expense. On the listing side, you have photography, you have, if you door knock, if you send mailers out to the neighbors. So just start working the numbers backwards, and just look at like your P&L or whatever budget you want to stick with for the year and pick those numbers. So for right now, you could just throw in whatever number.
Okay.
You're better off overestimating than underestimating and saying, oh, I don't have that many expenses. It's only $2,000. Because what about like photography? If you pay somebody to help you with showings, if you pay somebody to help you sitting on inspections, if you, whatever other, putting a sign in the ground, like getting your signs made. So everything that goes into it, just kind of start to get an idea of what it would be.
Okay, do you guys sit in on inspections or is that the homeowner that has to do that?
Nope, that would be the buyer's agent.
Okay.
So I don't like to, so I would just rather pay somebody $100 to go do it,
Alright.
because it's 2 to 3 hours, right? And it's
Yeah.
probably on a Saturday or early morning, so it just depends on your schedule. But then I like to leverage that out, but sometimes I don't, because especially if it's a buyer who's very like sensitive, I want to be there to see how the inspector's talking to the buyer and just kind of keep them calm, because that's a spot where the deal can fall apart. And I don't care if it falls apart, if the house is a dump, but I just want to make sure like they're not freaked out because of the way that the inspector explained it, or because of the person I have sitting in there didn't correct things. So it's tough, it's a battle.
It is the homeowner's responsibility to schedule that inspection and pay for the inspection.
The buyer,
The buyer, yeah, I mean, the
the
buyer.
buyer or the buyer's agent, some buyer's agents schedule everything for them.
Okay,
And some people just say, hey, here's your 3 options for inspectors. Pick one, schedule it from 12 to 3.
Okay, yeah, I guess that's what Aaron had suggested.
Yep,
Get
So-
3, give it to them, have them call, schedule it, whatever.
yep.
Okay.
So
you-
I'm doing one right now, and there's a language barrier. The guy does not speak very good English, so he asked me to call and set it up for him, and I'm going to, right? But there's situations too where I tell people, here are the people that I would recommend. Feel free to find your own, and here are the dates that work for scheduling an inspection. Thursday, Friday, from noon to 3, and kind of just set it there, because I don't like to start my day with a home inspection because it's 9 a.m. It's a shit show sometimes,
Yeah.
9 to 11. That should be lead generation or meeting with new clients. So once we figure this out,
Okay,
then you figure out your average commission per unit. How do you figure that out? Look at last year's numbers, right? Even if it's a small sample of 5, 10, 15, look at how much your average listing made you. Look at how much your average buyer made you, and then plug those numbers in. So you can do a excuse me, standard of 250 purchase price, which would be $7,500. And that's easy. But then if your average commission actually is $5,000, you're not going to hit your goal because you're thinking you need to hit less leads.
yeah.
So make sure you're very thoughtful with whatever.
Well, this year I'm just guesstimating anyway at everything, so.
Okay. So once that's all set up, let's say, okay, let's pretend it's for you. Okay, so what would be your goal? It could be any number. For profit.
For the year,
For 2024.
wouldn't that be nice? I mean, even just making 75 grand would be nice.
Perfect. So let's say $75,000. And your expenses, is it safe to say they'd be around $10,000?
I would assume so. At
Okay.
least.
So let's say 12,000 just for a $2,000 extra cushion. Cost of sales, that would be, do you pay transaction coordinator? Do you pay photography? Do you pay showing assistants? Do you have anything else that you pay somebody for anytime that you sell a home?
I'm assuming right now I'm gonna be doing all that myself.
Okay, so let's just say cost of sales with photography and buying signs, all that stuff. Let's just say it's $8,000. Okay, and then your business makeup, let's call it 50-50. These are just hypothetical numbers. And let's say your average listing is $7,000 and your average buyer is $7,350. Okay.
Okay.
So then we click continue, and it says that we need to make $95,000 in order to profit 75.
Yeah.
So then we go into our conversion ratio, because this is trying to calculate, okay, how many leads she's trying to close. You know, she wants to make 75,000. She actually needs to make 95. Then how many leads is she going to need? So, these are the tough numbers that we should be tracking, because if we can throw 5%, 30%, and it's gonna mess up our numbers if they're not accurate. So these are just leads, like what percentage do you convert leads at? This one has it at 5%. And this is saying that you convert your contacts at 5. Your appointments that you convert is 75%. So if you go on a listing appointment, buyer appointment, you get 3 out of 4, which I would say is pretty fair. And it also depends on the type of business that you're building. Some people are Sphere, some people are strictly cold calling and online leads. The online lead numbers are going to be way lower conversion versus Sphere.
Sphere, yeah.
So let's see what happens when we keep the standard numbers in. Okay, so we're gonna set goals.
So does this break it down monthly, or is it just
So
for a year?
it breaks it down for the whole year.
Okay.
Like, this is how many leads you need. This one's messed up. I don't know what I did, but it's saying it's 18,000 leads. So
Yeah.
what it would do for you, it would say you need 600 leads. You need this many contacts. So you need to talk to this many people. And what you would do is, okay, I need that many leads, and then you divide it by 12. That means I need 50 leads per month. Okay, contacts. Take that number, divide it by 12. Okay, I need to talk to 20 people every month. and then appointment set. Let's say the total was 234 divided by 12. I need X appointments per month. So you're dividing all these by 12 to get your monthly goal.
Okay.
And then you can break it down to your weekly goal. But that helps you understand your business, right? Like for me, I know that if I set 2 appointments a week, go on 2 to 3 appointments, my business is on track. And
Okay,
in 2 appointments, let's say over the course of 52 weeks, if I worked every single week, which I'm not going to, it'd be 104 appointments. But I know majority of my business is Sphere, so I can convert it very well. So if I'm going on 100 appointments, I'm probably going to close 50 of those appointments.
okay,
And they might not be this year, some might be pushed off until like, oh, we're just starting looking, but it'll be a 2025, 2026 client.
okay.
Okay, but that will at least help you get your numbers. So it only takes about what, 5-10 minutes to get that set up, and then you're good from there.
Okay, that
But-
makes sense.
But then you know every time, so how this tracks. Anytime that you have a client. So I'm looking at this Kelly girl, right? So let's say she just came in as a lead. I created the opportunity. So what works for us is anytime we get somebody that raises their hand, we create them as an opportunity and we check them off as a lead. Because once we check them off as a lead in command, it reports to the goals and it says Esteban just got 1 lead out of his 500 that he needs. And then at the bottom here, what command has done is, it gives you an estimated time frame of when they want to close. But what's important, because how do you track your appointments? You can track them on a spreadsheet, or every time you go on an appointment and set an appointment, you can go here, appointment scheduled. Let's say we scheduled the appointment today, which is the 10th, and let's say the appointment date is set for the 18th. Now, that is going to auto-populate to command and tell it that we're going on an appointment. And then agreement 1 is when did we get the contract signed? Like when did they say yes to us helping them as buyers or sellers? Let's say that was 10/18. So then I would save this information, the commission, finance type, that's all more for you to remember who the inspector is, when the home inspection date is, what the appraisal is. So let's pretend we saved all that info. We'd go back to our reports and we go back to our goals. So then once we update that and tell command that we have an appointment set, it's going to actually log it. So it says I have 3 right now, year to date, and it would move up to 4. So then like you're on track to hit your goal, and then these will start filling up. So this one's at 1%. So it's gonna continue to fill up,
Okay,
okay? And that's it as far as like goal setting, but
I like the 417.
which one? Oh, yeah. And it's nice because you can actually track the profit because it's all connected to how we get paid. So when you get paid, it will actually show like, hey, you're at 10%, you're at 20%, you're at 30. So it actually just gives you a good visual.
Yeah.
Even if your number is 95,000, like if it's March and you're 50%, you're
Yeah.
like, holy smokes, like
Yeah,
keep it going.
yeah,
But if it's, May and you're at 20%, you're like, man, I gotta crank some stuff out. Maybe I need to double my leads and see what we can get going. Okay.
okay.
I know you talked about wanting to do, the most important part of command is gonna be, if you click on this drop down right there and you go to settings. The third one is connect settings.
Yeah, I have all of those
Okay.
connected.
Because once you start running smart plans, anything that's like auto generated,
Yeah,
it's going to import your first name, your pictures, all is all gonna come from this marketing profile. So
and I did my verification for Google business thing this
Nice.
morning when nobody
Okay.
was here.
congrats. Oh, so they haven't verified it yet.
They
You just did the
haven't.
video.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yes,
But
but every
yeah,
time I came in here, there was people and it's hard to keep people out of the video and
yep.
so, yeah.
Okay, cool. Any other questions on command so I can go get
Nope,
Judy?
nope.
You wanna
We're good.
call her in real quick?
Judy, Thank you for your help.
Oh, you're welcome.
And I did figure out
The nerds number and all that stuff.
yeah,
Beautiful.
for DocuSign. I did
Okay.
figure that out too. It was what you said, just do the drop down list from residential and stuff.
Okay,
Sorry, it's weird. It's warmer out there than here right now.
really?
Yeah, usually it's warmer in here.
Yeah, usually it's like hot in here.
It's better in your house.
Yeah, I like it.
It's so hot. It's not good for.
Okay, so you guys are my awesome people who are gonna help me come up with my topics for the next couple weeks as far as flex. So I have a couple basic things that we still want to talk about. So like inputting listings, that one is very easy. But like the quick search CMA, still gotta playing with those.
CMAs are kind of.
I just did a CMA and there's a lot of preset settings because like when you do a search, it has it at a radius of 0.25. You can actually go in the general preferences and switch the radius to one less, one more
I
bathroom.
would start there.
Okay.
I would start with, rather than jumping into like the topics, start with how to customize your dashboard, how to set your general preferences.
Yeah, because I didn't know how to do that.